What if I told you that some of your favorite grocery items could soon disappear from store shelves forever? With the world grappling with climate change, supply chain disruptions, and global shortages, the food industry is under immense pressure. Products we've always taken for granted are now at risk of vanishing, and you might not even realize which ones until it's too late. That's why today we're breaking it all down for you. We've compiled a list of 12 essential grocery items that could become incredibly hard to find, some as early as next month. So don't get caught off guard. Stick around until the very end because we'll tell you exactly what you need to know to stay ahead. Make sure your pantry is prepared before these staples disappear for good. Let's dive right in. Number 12. Olive oil, often called liquid gold, is a kitchen must-have, but its future is looking bleak. Why? The Mediterranean region, which produces about 70% of the world's olive oil, is facing some serious setbacks. Extreme weather conditions like droughts and scorching heat waves have slashed olive harvests, with Spain, the top global producer, reporting drops of over 50% in some areas, and that's just the beginning. Warmer temperatures are also inviting pests like the olive fruit fly to thrive, destroying crops at alarming rates. On top of that, diseases such as Xylella fastidiosa, a pathogen nicknamed the olive tree killer, are wreaking havoc on groves, further cutting down yields. These challenges don't just affect quantity, they're impacting quality too. And the result? Olive oil prices are skyrocketing, with some regions seeing increases of up to 40%. Imagine cooking without olive oil. It could go from being a pantry staple to a luxury item before you know it. If you see it on your grocery store shelves now, it might be a smart move to stock up while you still can. Number 11. Ever notice that the tuna aisle isn't as full as it used to be? That's no coincidence. Canned tuna is facing a perfect storm of problems, and it's happening faster than you might think. Overfishing has pushed tuna species like bluefin and yellowfin dangerously close to extinction. Despite fishing quotas and regulations, the illegal fishing trade keeps thriving, while global demand for tuna continues to soar. And there's more bad news. Climate change is disrupting tuna migration routes and breeding patterns, making it harder for fishermen to locate them in traditional waters. Even the food tuna relies on, smaller fish, is being affected by shifting marine ecosystems, causing a ripple effect up the food chain. But there's more to the canned tuna crisis than just overfishing and climate change. Let's talk about the cans themselves. Did you know that the aluminum used to make those trusty cans is in short supply? This critical material is becoming harder to source, driving up production costs and slowing down manufacturing. Add to that the skyrocketing transportation and supply chain expenses, and you've got a recipe for fewer cans on the shelves and higher prices when they do show up. So, if canned tuna is your go-to pantry staple, now's the time to stock up. What was once an affordable and reliable grocery item could soon become a rare and pricey find. Tuna lovers, take note. Your favorite kitchen standby might just be swimming off into history. Number 10, from canned tomatoes to pasta sauces and the beloved ketchup, tomato-based products are at risk of becoming harder to find and more expensive. The culprit? It's a combination of extreme weather and rising costs. Take California, for example, one of the largest tomato growing regions in the world. Record-breaking droughts and relentless heat waves are wreaking havoc on tomato crops. These plants need steady water and mild temperatures to thrive, and when they don't get it, harvests shrink dramatically. Smaller harvests mean fewer tomatoes, which means fewer tomato-based products for the grocery store shelves. And it doesn't stop there. Farming essentials like fertilizers, fuel, and labor are becoming increasingly expensive, making it harder for growers to operate sustainably. These rising costs trickle down to consumers, turning simple products like marinara sauce into a luxury. Let's not forget global supply chain issues. Shipping delays and even packaging shortages are throwing yet another wrench into the process. All of this combined means that the demand for ketchup and pasta sauce isn't slowing down, but the supply just can't keep up. If you rely on tomato-based products in your cooking, now's the time to grab a few extras for your pantry. Don't wait until your favorite sauce becomes a rare sight on store shelves. Number 9. Coming in at number 9 is ronzoni pastina, a tiny star-shaped pasta that has brought comfort and nostalgia to so many families. Sadly, this iconic pantry staple has been discontinued, and fans are heartbroken. Pastina wasn't just a pasta, it was a tradition. Parents served it to their kids on sick days, while others used it to whip up cozy soups and creamy dishes that felt like a warm hug on a cold day. Whether it was a quick meal or a remedy for tough times, pastina held a special place in people's hearts. So, why did Ronzoni decide to discontinue it? Surprisingly, it wasn't due to a lack of demand. In fact, people loved it. The real issue was a supply chain challenge. Ronzoni's longtime supplier for the unique star-shaped pasta could no longer produce it, and after an extensive search, the company couldn't find another supplier that met their quality standards. With no viable alternative, Ronzoni had to make the tough decision to pull the plug. Unsurprisingly, the internet exploded with outrage. Fans flooded social media, signed petitions, and even scrambled to stockpile boxes of pastina. Some opportunists have taken advantage of the scarcity, selling boxes online for ridiculously high prices. For now, it seems like pastina lovers will have to find alternatives or hope for a comeback someday. This little pasta may be gone, but it's far from forgotten. Despite the growing outcry from loyal fans, Ronzoni has confirmed they have no plans to bring this cherished product back. This leaves many wondering, what will happen to their favorite comforting recipes now? If you spot a box of pastina on store shelves, don't think twice. Grab it while you can, because once it's gone, it's gone. This pantry favorite could disappear entirely by next month. Number 8. Imagine strolling down the candy aisle, craving your favorite chocolate bar, only to find empty shelves, or prices so high they make you hesitate. This might sound far-fetched, but it's becoming a very real possibility. The chocolate industry is facing massive challenges, and it all starts with cocoa. Did you know that more than 60% of the world's cocoa comes from West Africa? Countries like Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire are cocoa powerhouses, but they're struggling with some serious issues. Climate change is throwing farming cycles into chaos. Unpredictable rainfall, extended dry spells, and scorching heat are making it harder for cocoa crops to thrive. On top of that, diseases like black pod and pests such as the cocoa swollen shoot virus are devastating yields. But there's another problem: labor shortages. Cocoa farming is backbreaking work, and fewer young people in these regions are staying in rural areas to take it on. Many are leaving for the cities in search of better opportunities, leaving farms understaffed and struggling to keep up. And here's the kicker. While cocoa production is slowing down, global demand for chocolate is skyrocketing, especially in emerging markets. This growing gap between supply and demand is pushing cocoa prices through the roof, turning chocolate into a luxury item. If current trends continue, your favorite creamy, rich chocolate bar could become a rare treat rather than an everyday indulgence. So next time you take a bite, savor it. The chocolate we know and love may soon be harder to come by. Number 7, peanut butter lovers, brace yourselves. This pantry staple is facing serious challenges, and your favorite jar could soon become harder to find or significantly more expensive. The biggest issue, the climate crisis. Peanuts need consistent water to grow, but top producing states in the U.S., like Georgia and Alabama, have been hit hard by severe droughts and erratic rainfall. These unpredictable weather patterns are causing peanut yields to drop, creating a ripple effect through the supply chain. But that's not the only hurdle. Farmers are dealing with skyrocketing costs for critical resources like fertilizers, fuel, and labor. These rising expenses are making peanut farming tougher than ever. Combine this with frequent supply chain disruptions, and you've got a recipe for higher peanut butter prices and limited availability. In fact, some manufacturers have already had to halt production temporarily due to these mounting challenges. If you rely on peanut butter for your snacks, sandwiches, or recipes, it might be time to stock up before this staple becomes a rare and pricey find. Adding to the struggle, some manufacturers have already been forced to pause production simply because they can't source enough high-quality peanuts. Meanwhile, demand for peanut butter, especially in Western markets, remains stronger than ever. It's a household favorite, and that unrelenting craving for the creamy spread paired with a shrinking supply has already caused prices to surge. If these challenges persist, affordable peanut butter could become a thing of the past. It's not just a snack or a sandwich spread, it's a symbol of how global issues are reshaping what ends up in our shopping carts. So if peanut butter is a must-have in your pantry, stock up now while you still can. Number 6, Wheat products, think bread, pasta, and breakfast cereals, are the backbone of many meals around the world. But recent global events and environmental challenges are putting these staples at serious risk. One of the biggest issues, climate change, prolonged droughts, erratic rainfall, and extreme weather conditions have wreaked havoc on wheat crops worldwide. Key wheat producing regions like the United States, Canada, and parts of Europe have seen their harvests drastically impacted. For example, in 2023, severe droughts in the U.S. Midwest slashed wheat output, sending shockwaves through the global supply chain and causing prices to skyrocket. But that's only part of the story. Geopolitical instability is also playing a major role. Did you know that Ukraine and Russia account for nearly a third of the world's wheat exports? The ongoing war in Ukraine has blocked vital export routes, tightening the global supply of wheat and driving up prices even further, and it doesn't stop there. Rising costs for fertilizers, fuel, and other farming essentials are making wheat production more expensive than ever. Many farmers are struggling to stay afloat, and some might be forced to scale back production entirely. The impact? A noticeable decline in the availability of wheat-based products at your local store. Think pasta, bread, flour, and breakfast favorites, becoming harder to find or significantly more expensive. For consumers, this isn't just an inconvenience. It raises serious concerns about food security, especially in countries heavily reliant on wheat imports. If you're a fan of wheat-based products, consider stocking up now. With these trends showing no signs of slowing, your go-to pantry staples could soon be much harder to come by or far more expensive. Number 5, attention salmon lovers. You might want to savor every delicious bite because salmon could soon become a rare sight on grocery store shelves. The beloved fish, especially Chinook and sockeye salmon from the Pacific Northwest and Alaska, is in serious trouble. Warming ocean temperatures driven by climate change are disrupting the delicate balance of their ecosystems. Salmon need cold, oxygen-rich waters to thrive, but as the oceans heat up, these essential habitats are disappearing. It doesn't end there. Severe droughts, particularly in places like California, are drying up critical rivers where salmon return to spawn. Without these spawning grounds, their populations are taking a devastating hit. And let's not forget overfishing. Decades of aggressive fishing practices have pushed many salmon species to the brink, leading to drastic measures like fishing bans in areas including California. These bans are necessary to help populations recover, but they also mean fewer salmon available for consumers. The result? Rising prices and shrinking supplies of this nutrient-rich fish. If you love salmon for its flavor and health benefits, consider savoring it while you can. The next time you see it at your local market, it might come with a much steeper price or not be there at all. Pollution is another major threat to salmon populations. Industrial runoff and agricultural waste find their way into rivers and streams, degrading the habitats salmon rely on for survival. These combined challenges mean fewer fish make it to the market, and when they do, they come with a hefty price tag. If this trend continues, salmon could shift from being a regular protein on dinner tables to a luxury item only the few can afford. So whether you love it grilled, baked, or in your favorite sushi roll, stock up now. This iconic fish could soon swim right off the shelves, possibly forever. Number 4, rice, the cornerstone of meals for more than half the world's population, might shockingly become scarce. This humble grain is battling a tidal wave of problems that threaten its availability, affordability, and even its existence on store shelves. The primary culprit? Climate change. Severe droughts in Australia, unpredictable monsoons in India, and fluctuating weather in Southeast Asia have taken a toll on rice cultivation. These extreme conditions have significantly reduced yields, causing global prices to soar. Adding to the crisis is the sheer demand for water needed to grow rice. Did you know that producing 1 kilogram of rice requires over 2,500 liters of water? With freshwater resources drying up rapidly, farmers are finding it harder to maintain traditional growing methods. While scientists are working on developing less water-dependent rice varieties, these innovations are far from being widely adopted. And if that's not enough, geopolitical tensions are further complicating the situation. Countries like India, one of the world's largest rice exporters, have imposed export bans to secure domestic supply. This has left importing nations scrambling and millions at risk of food insecurity. For many of us, rice has always been a budget-friendly, versatile staple. Finally, maintaining your filtration system is as important as owning one. Regularly cleaning and replacing filters ensures peak performance. Stock up on spare filters now while they're still readily available, and practice using your device so there's no learning curve when you need it most. Access to clean water is non-negotiable, and having the right tools can be the difference between life and death. Planning now ensures you'll be prepared for whatever challenges come your way. Number 7, in light of the approaching uncertainties of 2025, ensuring a dependable long-term food supply is more critical than ever. Recent advancements in food preservation technologies offer innovative solutions to extend shelf life and maintain nutritional value. One such advancement is freeze drying, a process that removes moisture from food at low temperatures, preserving its structure and nutrients. This method results in lightweight, long-lasting products ideal for emergency storage. Additionally, the development of edible sensors and smart packaging technologies is revolutionizing food safety. These sensors can detect spoilage indicators, ensuring that stored food remains safe for consumption over extended periods. Traditional methods like root cellaring also remain effective. By storing certain crops in cool, dark environments, it's possible to maintain their freshness for months without the need for modern refrigeration. Incorporating these preservation techniques into your preparedness plan can provide peace of mind, knowing that your long-term food supplies are both safe and sustainable. Number 8. In the unpredictable landscape of 2025, maintaining reliable communication during emergencies is more crucial than ever. Imagine a scenario where natural disasters have crippled traditional communication infrastructures, leaving communities isolated and vulnerable. In such critical moments, having access to advanced communication devices can mean the difference between life and death. Recent advancements have significantly enhanced the effectiveness of emergency communication tools. For instance, the integration of satellite connectivity into smartphones now allows users to send text messages and make emergency calls without relying on terrestrial cell towers. This feature has proven invaluable in disaster-stricken areas, ensuring that individuals can reach out for help even when conventional networks are down. Additionally, the development of portable cell towers, known as cells on wheels, COWs, has revolutionized on-the-ground communication during crises. These mobile units can be rapidly deployed to restore connectivity in affected regions, providing essential support to both residents and emergency personnel. Such innovations ensure that even in the most challenging circumstances, lines of communication remain open, facilitating timely rescue operations. Equipping yourself with these cutting-edge communication devices is not just about staying connected. It's about ensuring that you and your loved ones have a lifeline when it matters most. Incorporating these tools into your emergency preparedness plan is a proactive step toward resilience in an uncertain world. Number 9, picture this. A storm has swept through your area, leaving debris scattered across your property, power lines down, and the nearest hardware store closed indefinitely. Help might not arrive for days. What do? This is where the importance of tools and repair equipment comes to life. In times of crisis, having the right tools on hand isn't just convenient, it can be the difference between weathering the storm or being overwhelmed by it. A simple multi-tool can become your best friend. With its knife, pliers, screwdrivers, and even a saw, this compact piece of equipment can handle dozens of tasks. Need to secure a broken door? Cut a length of rope? Tighten a loose screw on critical equipment? A multi-tool can do it all, often in situations where speed and resourcefulness matter most. Similarly, duct tape, often underestimated, has a nearly endless array of uses, from sealing leaks in water containers to creating temporary fixes for torn clothing or even bandaging wounds in an emergency. It's a must-have for any preparedness kit. Rope or paracord adds another layer of functionality. This lightweight yet incredibly strong material can be used to rig shelters, repair broken gear, or even craft makeshift tools. Combined with a solid hammer, screwdrivers, a set of adjustable wrenches, and a reliable flashlight, these tools form the backbone of your emergency repair arsenal. So they're not just tools, they're solutions in your hands when the unexpected strikes. But having tools isn't enough. Their condition matters just as much as their presence. Imagine trying to use a rusted wrench or a blunt saw blade when time is critical. Regular maintenance of your tools ensures they're ready when you need them. Oil them to prevent rust, store them in a dry place to avoid corrosion, and check them periodically for wear and tear. Batteries for devices like flashlights or power drills should be rotated and tested to ensure they're charged and functional. Think too about how versatile tools can save resources. Instead of waiting for professionals to fix a leaking pipe, a simple repair kit with tools like pipe tape or a wrench can stop water loss immediately. A screwdriver set can handle everything from fixing a broken appliance to assembling makeshift furniture. In a survival situation, every piece of equipment in your toolkit should earn its place through utility, reliability, and adaptability. Imagine facing not just a storm, but a broader long-term crisis like a supply chain breakdown. Hardware stores might run out of stock quickly, leaving you without options. The tools and equipment you have on hand could be the only resources you can count on for months. Whether it's using a saw to cut firewood for heat or a knife to carve stakes for securing a tent, the ability to act independently is empowering. Preparedness isn't about anticipating every possible situation. It's about having the confidence and capability to adapt to whatever comes your way. Tools and repair equipment are more than objects. They're your lifeline, enabling you to turn problems into solutions when the stakes are high. Number 10, imagine a world where your financial stability hinges on a single unexpected event. This was the reality for Sarah, a nurse and single mother who, like so many others, was living paycheck to paycheck. For years, Sarah had heard about the importance of an emergency fund, but always thought, I'll start tomorrow. Then, one day, an unexpected medical emergency arose involving her child. The hospital bills came fast, and without savings to fall back on, Sarah faced the harsh reality of either taking on high debt or forgoing critical care. Fortunately, she had started saving a year earlier, setting aside small amounts each month into an emergency fund. That simple step saved her from spiraling into financial ruin. Sarah's story isn't unique, but it's a powerful reminder of how essential emergency cash is in today's unpredictable world. Studies reveal that over 60% of people couldn't cover an unexpected $1,000 expense without borrowing or dipping into credit. This statistic highlights a dangerous lack of preparedness, especially in an era where economic and societal changes are creating more instability than ever before. Emergencies don't wait, and without a safety net, a single setback can have a domino effect on your financial future. The solution is straightforward but requires discipline. Building an emergency fund, experts recommend having 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up, enough to cover rent, groceries, utilities, and any essential bills. This might sound daunting, but it's achievable with small, consistent steps. For example, even saving $50 to $100 a month can add up to a meaningful buffer over time. It's about prioritizing this as a non-negotiable part of your financial plan, just like paying a bill. In today's world, physical cash also plays a critical role in your emergency preparations. Consider scenarios like natural disasters, cyber attacks, or even a simple power outage that could disrupt digital payment systems. Having a stash of readily accessible cash in small denominations ensures you can still buy essentials like food and water or pay for transportation when ATMs or online banking are down. Keep this cash in a secure but accessible location, such as a waterproof safe in your home, and remember to periodically update it to match inflation or changes in your local cost of living. Recent data suggests that individuals with even modest emergency funds report significantly lower stress levels and a greater sense of control over their lives. Beyond just financial stability, having emergency cash grants you the confidence to navigate life's uncertainties without the constant fear of being one step away from disaster. Whether it's for unexpected repairs, a sudden job loss, or a critical medical expense, an emergency fund transforms uncertainty into manageable inconvenience. As we approach 2025, a year many experts predict will bring heightened economic challenges, there's never been a better time to start building or replenishing your emergency savings. It's not just about surviving, it's about protecting your peace of mind, your freedom to make decisions, and your ability to weather life's storms without being swept away. Start small, stay consistent, and remember, every dollar saved is a step toward a more secure future. When it comes to hiding essential survival items, you're not just stashing them away. You're creating a fortress of security and strategy. Let's explore some smart techniques to keep your supplies safe, accessible, and undetectable to potential threats. The first rule of hiding is blending. everyday household items can serve as perfect camouflage for your valuables. For example, hollow out an old book to store small items like cash or precious metals, or use empty food containers to conceal emergency food rations. If you're storing larger items, look for unconventional spaces, under staircases, inside furniture with hidden compartments, or in false walls. The goal is to make your stash invisible to the untrained eye. A well-placed decoy can be just as important as the hiding spot itself. Place obvious low-value items in an accessible location to mislead potential thieves. For instance, keep a small, unlocked safe filled with decoy cash and trinkets, while your real stash remains well hidden elsewhere. The decoy distracts and delays, giving you an edge. Location matters, not just for concealment, but for preservation. Items like emergency cash, heirloom seeds, and ammunition can be ruined by dampness or extreme temperatures. Use airtight containers and silica gel packs to guard against moisture. For locations prone to temperature fluctuations, consider underground storage options such as buried PVC pipes or insulated containers, which can stabilize the environment. Think long-term durability. Your stash needs to endure. Even the best prepared individuals can fall victim to common mistakes when storing their emergency supplies. Avoiding these pitfalls can make all the difference when the unexpected strikes. The first mistake is concealing your emergency items in prominent locations. The top drawer of your dresser, under the bed, or a shoebox in the closet are the first spots intruders or even desperate friends and family will check. Instead, think creatively. Conceal items in hollowed-out books, within unused crawl spaces, or behind inconspicuous wall panels. Remember, the goal is to hide in plain sight. Next, don't overlook the environment. Moisture, heat, and pests can destroy even the most critical supplies. Stashing items in damp basements without proper waterproof containers or leaving cash and documents in sunlit areas can lead to deterioration. Invest in airtight, weatherproof containers, and consider using silica gel packets to keep everything dry and secure. Finally, accessibility is key. Hiding something so well that even you can't retrieve it quickly defeats the purpose. Avoid overcomplicating your storage solutions. Ensure your most essential items, like emergency cash or medical supplies, are within reach during a crisis but still concealed enough to prevent theft or loss. One example of balancing concealment and convenience is hiding a lockbox inside a false bottom drawer. By sidestepping these common mistakes, you'll be far better equipped to secure your survival items for the long term. Now let's discuss how to take your hiding techniques to the next level. The time to act is now. Today's decisions will shape your and your loved ones' readiness for tomorrow's challenges. Start building your emergency stockpile and safeguarding these critical items before it's too late. Don't wait until the shelves are empty or the systems fail. If you found this guide helpful, subscribe to our channel for more actionable prepper tips and strategies. Let's build a community of prepared, resilient individuals who are ready for anything. And we want to hear from you. What's your number one tip for staying prepared? Drop it in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Together we can face whatever comes our way.